welcome to my YouTube channel. So I woke up this morning and I seen all the dew and the rain on the windows. When I looked outside, it's really misty. And then I looked to the hedge and the hedges are full of spiders' webs. And it's amazing what we can see in these conditions. So what I thought I'd do is, how do we turn the ordinary into a wee bit of art? So join me and let's see where this journey takes us. Right, so here I've got a spider's web, but what I'm trying to do is focus in the centre of it. So rather than going into auto mode because it's really fine and the camera won't pick it up, I'm going into manual. I've got 132 speed from my flash. I've got f2.8 and I've got a 1/160th of a shutter speed at ISO 100. So what I'm going to do is I'll just try that again and make sure I'm on manual focus. Move my camera in and out to the point where I think I've got it focused. And then what I'm also looking for is to turn that ordinary into art is look at different perspectives, look at different shapes, look at different light areas. So sometimes when you hit a spider's web with the flash, you might get some rainbow type colours. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 or 3 shots here and then I'll share these images with you now. So I've spotted there's a wee spider right in the centre of this spider's web. The challenge is the wind is moving the spider's web, so when I think I'm focused on it, because I'm still in manual focus, so I'm just moving my camera backwards and forwards to try and find the focus on my screen. And then I'm getting a lot of out of focus shots, but there's 1 or 2 that's there. It's actually really nice. So the other thing to do is don't look at just the spider. Take some shots of the web itself and focus in on areas with different angles, above, below, front on, side on, because what I'm looking for is some of these webs, intricate as they are broken. So what I'm looking to do is try and use some of the web as a leading line so that in the back of the viewer of my camera it looks a wee bit arty, but when you take the photo you've shot really close, and then that way you've got the definition of the spider's web. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 or 3 more shots from different perspectives and different angles of the web, and I'll share those with you now. Nice getting the different perspectives from a centre of a spider web, but then there's also these webs that I'll show you just now that look like canopies. How can we make best use, or how can we get artistic around those canopies, and how do we make them look different? So what I'll do is I'll take a couple of shots. I've upped my ISO a little bit just to brighten up the images, and then I can tone them back down in post-processing if I need to. But with the canopy, you either take a wide shot or you zoom in, but when you zoom in you're looking for form. And that form could be a shape like a V, it could be a gully, it could be the hanging threads from the top of the branch that suspend and hold it. So what I'll do is I'll take a few shots of the canopies and I'll share those with you now. Got a new bush here which is absolutely riddled with the spider's webs. Well, there's a big web. I don't know if that wee camera will pick it up, but that's it there. So there's a nice one there with a lot of dark background if I go that direction, and there's another web in front of me that's actually got a spider right in the centre of it. Right, so what I'll do is I'll look for different angles, different compositions again, but what I'm also looking for is the detail in the web. This one I'll try and get the spider if I can, and any other shapes that I can see. So if these work out, I'll share these images with you now. What I've got is, there seems to be a wee bug that's inside the web. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to focus in on that wee bug. It is moving. So what I'll do is I'll try and take more photos of this little bug and try and at least get one sharp one. And if I can, I'll share that with you now. So just come over to this wee bush. As you can see, the cobwebs are absolutely everywhere. There's a massive one up in that tree over in the corner there. It's an absolute cracker. But I noticed these wee flowers there. So what I'll try and do is take a couple of shots of those wee flowers, but get them from different angles, and then I'll see if there's anything interesting with these cobwebs. There's one that looks like a bit of a kind of triangular canopy. And then if I could maybe get some long shots, I could maybe use some of these as foreground and try and bring them in. And I'll try and get that big one that's up on that tree if I possibly can. So if I can, here's these images. Other side of the garden here, because as you'll see there are hundreds and hundreds of webs on the back of the hedge and here on the trees, which they might make some interesting compositions combined with the leaves. So what I'll do is I'll have a wee scout around. Alright, so there's a spider's web in front of me. Is just get focused in on the centre of it. So when I'm filming in the camera, that'll look really, really bright. But when I take my shot, it'll be won't be as bright as what you see in the camera. So if I take 2 or more shots here, I'll share these images with you. That the spider's webs are all over the grass as well, so it's quite interesting, all that moisture in the air and all the drizzle is all going to the webs. And there's another web in between the bushes. Oh wow, there's some cracking webs here. Right, let's see what we can get here. Who would have thought you had so many spiders in your garden? And it takes a morning like this with all the dew. I can guarantee within an hour as it starts to brighten up, we won't have any of this. It'll all be invisible. So quite impressive, I must admit. Really impressive. Just as well I'm not arachnophobic. Right, so there's a big spider's web underneath the leaves here. So I'm just trying to see if I can catch it. It's getting brighter, so the lighting conditions are changing all the time. So that's another thing when you're looking at ordinary to art, is your lighting and how you can either use bright lights, dark light, create shadows. I'm using a flash today, but everything should be a wee bit brighter, but I can control the light of the flash by the ISO, and you'll see that because I've got quite a lot of variety in some of these images with the colours and the tones. And what I'm trying to do is just trying to get different perspectives of the webs, just so I'm not shooting a web straight on. Right, I'll take 2 or 3 more and I'll share these images with you. Alright, so I've switched to the 7200 mil lens, and there's a cobweb here in front of me. So I've got my settings are 1/320th of a second. Because this is a 200 mil, I want my shutter speed to be higher than the length of the lens. So I'm at 200, just so that I can make sure that the images I take are sharp and it captures it, because I've got a wee bit shaky hands because I've been doing this for quite a while this morning. I'm setting my ISO to f4.5. Sorry, I'm setting my f-stop to f4.5. I've got my ISO right up at 5000 here. So what I'm trying to do is I'll take that ISO down and switch to manual focus. See if we can find that cobweb. Here we go. Right, so now I can adjust my ISO properly. So my ISO 500, just zoom in the centre of that web there, and that's a really nice shot. Just need to find a dark area, so the centre of that web's in a dark area. I can see the beauty about the 70-200. So the flash in the macro lens is great for getting close up, but what you might see is I might be getting more natural shots. There's a big spider in front of me. There are more natural shots with the 70-200 with a normal light, because the flash absolutely exaggerates things. So I've got a spider in the web. So what I'll do is I'll just walk about this area and I'll take some shots with the 70-200 and let's see what images we can capture. Hear it, but the birds are really chatty this morning. I tell you what I have noticed as I've come round the back, just thought I'd try and look for something different. There's a spider's web within the old bird feeder. So I'm going to see if I can zoom in on that and see if I can get some shots. And then what I'll do is I'll zoom in even further, which means I'm at my further zoom, but I'm just going to see if I can walk closer. That might make a different image. Right, we'll keep walking. So I've just taken a shot of a purpley pink flower surrounded with cobwebs. So I'll take that shot. I'll share that shot with you now. What I'm doing just now is I'm zooming in. There's a couple of cool cobwebs on this tree covered in lichen here. So what I'm trying to do is pick them out, but make sure I've got a dark background, because it won't really work without the dark background. There's a cracker up there. I might have to go portrait. Maybe cobweb there. Right, I'll just walk around these bushes, see if there's anything more interesting. And then if these images did turn out, I'll share them with you now. Alright, so I think I'm going to end the video here. I hope we can make a video out of this. It was very opportune, just woke up, seen all the spider webs, exaggerated with the moisture, the dew, and gee whiz, I was totally surprised on how many spiders we must have in this garden. There must be thousands. Anyway, what we're trying to do is just show you how you can take an ordinary picture but try and make it arty looking, and a lot of that can be done by zooming close in. I used a macro lens, I used a flash. We zoomed in, we were able to get different compositions, we could get different shapes, we get different colours, and then switched to the 70-200 lens and just showed you what you can achieve with a longer lens and a longer reach, and you get a kind of wider vista of some of these images. The light was good this morning, so that was helpful. I think we're starting to get a lot of drizzle, so that's not helpful. Anyway, here's hoping we can make a video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that will let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks very much for watching, and here's to the next video.